Man, I didn't realize it was time already. Happy weekend, Knicks Nation. Shalom to all of you out there. Greetings, CW Flash, my man Cherokee Indian, Jim Adino, Shashawn Wilson. Greetings, welcome, Frank Matos, Patrick McGov, Chris Shepard. I got 5 on it, that's right. V Dash, what's up? And CW Flash, Frank Sound, how you doing, my brother? Let's go. Yeah, look, there's a lot to talk about. Yes, the Knicks have won their 5th straight. There's a lot to talk about. There's just a lot to talk about. First off, the Knicks are now, as you probably are aware, the Knicks are now 8 games above 500. Not 3 games, not 1 game, 8 games above 500. 35-27. Now, wait. I want to make sure y'all can hear this. Can y'all Tibbs haters who talk about he going to burn Julius Randle out and they're going to get burned out, not have any energy. Can y'all shut up now? Can y'all shut up now? All you Tibbs haters, can y'all shut up now? Huh? Can y'all shut up now? You ain't got to jump on the bandwagon. No. You ain't got to jump on the bandwagon. Just shut up. That's all. That's all I'm saying. You know, how many of y'all was out there? He gonna burn Randle out. They ain't got no energy left. He paying them too many minutes. He needs to go to a 10-man rotation. What's wrong with him? We still got some fool out there talking that. Is that fair? I mean, that's all I'm saying. Mangan song. Hey, look, speaking of Mangan song, look here. And first of all, let me. Hey, Miss Stevenson, you keep me right because I might say some things otherwise. That anyway. Look, I told y'all. I told y'all that as the season goes on, they were gonna get better. I mean, right? I mean, didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that it's a typical thing among Tibbs coach teams that as the season gets going, they get better. It's just how it is. It takes him a minute to get his rotation together, right? Right? I mean, I told y'all that. See, listen, let's do it this way, y'all. Let's do it this way. Before we talk about the rest of this season, let's do it this way. If y'all could pick this up, some of y'all, not all, some of y'all already got it, but some of y'all picked up. Look, when next season starts, don't get trippy in the first 20 games, first 30 games, right? When next season starts, don't be like some of these haters that get trippy. You see, this is again, I want y'all to please remember this before we go forward with today's material. Y'all got to remember, Knicks Nation, the media hates the Knicks. And the media, I told y'all, the reason why they hate the Knicks is because they got this intense hate for James Dolan. Do y'all understand that? I mean, do y'all get that? They got this intense hate for James Dolan. And because of that, you're going to get Knicks hate. Anytime they even give a compliment to the Knicks, it's a backhanded compliment. Right? I mean, right? And look, because like, okay, look, man, I mean, honestly, every content creator would like to see everybody wants 1 million subscribers. I mean, right? Everybody wants the 1 million subs. Everybody wants to blow up. Like my man CP franchise started off real little and all of a sudden boom, blew up. And now he's on major media and all that. Well, you know, in order to do that, a lot of people start to take the narrative that the main media takes. Because they become in that mainstream of the media, right? And it helps them ride along with the rest of the media and helps them blow up a little bit. Everybody likes that. But you know, just saying, Raw, y'all know Raw don't do that. I try to represent New York and the Knicks. Try to do it. Because I see the Knicks a long time, and that's my spot. Some people say, like, well, what do you think was happening with this player or that player? I really don't care unless it affects my Knicks. You understand? So that's how we roll. Yo, Organic, my man, how you doing? Matt Malik, my brother. Wooly, Manmouth, D.O. Maverick, my man, how you doing? Son from Brooklyn. Akil Hicks. All right. So look. So I'm just telling y'all that little preamble like this. Like, remember, whenever you see something negative about the Knicks, understand, especially if it's from mainstream media, that they hate James Dolan. And they're attacking the Knicks to attack him. Y'all gotta understand. When you understand that lens, then you can see where it's coming from. And again, why? Because Dolan don't play that. Dolan don't play that. Oh, you want to talk about me negative? Oh, you want to sue me? You can't come in MSG. Oh, you want to talk about me negative? You can't get inside the Knicks locker room. Get out of here. I like that. Oh, you want something secret? Get out of here. I like it. Did you see the program last night? Did you see all the Knicks they brought in? Latrell Sprewell, John Starks, Bernard King, Marcus Camby. Did y'all see that? Do you also realize that a lot of those guys, or several of them, not going to say a lot, but a few of them blew all their money. And you know who's paying them right now? James Dolan. I'm just letting y'all know. Some of them have blown their money. You know who's paying them? James Dolan. LJ. You know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why, look at, I'm just going to leave it like, I'm going to leave this out here. And some of y'all, if you know, you know. James Dolan helps certain people groups, and media don't like that. I'm just saying. I'm just leaving that out there. James Dolan helps certain people groups, and there's people out there that don't like that. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm going to just leave that out there, okay? I'm going to just leave that out there because y'all know what I'm saying. If you know, you know, okay? But that's why you see media hate for the Knicks. It started back in the 70s, but then the Knicks was the first team in the NBA to have an all certain people group team. They were the first team in the NBA to do that. Just leaving that out there. There's been hate for the Knicks for a long time. And then, of course, you know, in New York, everything gets blown up. One of the things about New York is that everything involving pro sports is in a higher intensity level. I mean, everything. So let's talk about the Knicks. Playing in New York is not like playing any place else on planet Earth. Any place else to play basketball on planet Earth is a step below, at least one, playing in New York. Even LA, it ain't like playing in New York. Okay, period. LA is like, if y'all been to LA, y'all know LA is like laid back, you know, laid back, and they talk like that. And it's, you know, I'm from LA. You know, it's like that. Much more laid back. Not saying they're not, you know, definitely gangster. Like I remember I once met and had a nice long couple of conversations with a guy from South Central. He used to play in the NBA. His name was Kevin Ollie. I don't know if you remember Kevin Ollie. He played for UConn. And I was fortunate enough to have a couple of conversations with him. And he had that this is when he was a kid. You know, I don't know what he's a grown man now. It was funny to see Marcus last night because I seen him when he was 15 years old. To see him as a grown old man like me was definitely interesting last night. But Kevin Ollie had that laid back LA thing. You know, it's real cool. That's LA. It's more laid back than it is in New York. New York is intense. That's like the watchword. New York is intense, on point, sharp. They know when you're trying to take them. Lots of the time, my wife and I run into somebody trying to take us, and we'd be like, you know, we from New York, right? What you doing? What you trying? You know what I mean? So New York is more intense. So playing here, everything gets pushed up several notches. So when you're good, and you're good in New York, it's not like being good in Utah. When you're good in New York, it's like you all world. Even though if you was in Utah, you might not even get noticed. But if it's in the Garden and you good, you good. And if you bad, you suck. That's how it is. Because New York is very, very heavily intense one way or the other. 2189, thanks for the $2. LA is a Hollywood set, and New York is a modern Rome Coliseum. Yeah, exactly. With it complete with the whole cutting off the heads and everything. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, so that's, you know what I'm saying? So New York is not easy. And, you know, the players in all sports, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, they all know this, right? They know it. And then there's the media. So you got media that's more intense. Like, okay, you watch a game that OKC plays against somebody in OKC. Watch one of their games, right? Or watch a game. The other night I was watching a game with Toronto and New Orleans, right? And the media, when they have an interview, it's like quiet. It's like one or two people. But in New York, it's an event, okay? Every media situation is an event. In fact, it's so much of an event that Dolan done said, look, I got my own MSG crew I'm going to let do this because I'm not letting all y'all wild people come in here and put my players, you know, in all kind of mind games because you're stupid questions. So they really be controlling. Okay? They control. So because in New York, everything is an event. Every game is an event. Every game. Tips. That's why I appreciate it. Y'all know Tibbs comes out after every game and he sits there and takes the bullets from some stupid behind questions, but he be just taking it. That's New York. Okay. Not everybody could do that. Don't take it for granted that any player and any coach can come in New York and do that. They can't. This is New York. Okay. So it's much more intense. That brings me to now the situation we at right now. The difference and y'all might have seen the headline I put out there. How an all-star becomes all NBA. Now there's a lot that goes into it. I've observed this and so have y'all over the years. But one of the ways, and see, you can have a good season and become an all-star. But you got to be consistently good. I mean, you got to be good, every night good. For years good to become all NBA. The all NBA team to me is like, and that's the same in football. Like in football, a lot of dudes make the Pro Bowl. But the all pro team are your best football players. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So you know, a lot of dudes can get that Pro Bowl, go to Hawaii or wherever they playing now, and you know, do their thing. And you might have a good season to make the Pro Bowl, but to be all pro means you are the very best at what you do, okay? And it's the same with the NBA. You can have a really good season or you can have the fans like, you know, when Yao Ming came to the NBA, he hadn't even played a game yet. And he was like one of the top vote getters in the All-Star game. Why? Because he was from China. China got 2 billion people and they was all voting for him. I mean, Jeremy Lin, they was going crazy over Jeremy Lin, basically a fringe G League player. I mean, to be honest with you. And so that's because that's All-Star. But to be all NBA, you got to be good. Okay? You got to be good. Now, how is that proven? Friday night was a prime example. I saw the condensed game last night before the Knicks game. Friday night was a prime example. Let me explain, please, because this made me so excited. Some of the things make me excited. My wife will tell you, sometimes I'll have fun all by myself. She understands. If somebody else, they think I'm crazy, but I can have fun all by myself. And some of the littlest things make me have fun. Like this. So Kuzma hits a shot. He hits a shot on Julius Randle. And he goes as if to say, you know, you're too small for me. Let me explain what's going on in that little dynamic, brother. Julius Randle just came from the All-Star game. Kyle Kuzma did not. What generally happens is you get a little, I don't want to say jealousy, but what ends up happening is the dudes that come from the All-Star game got a certain panache, a certain things come with it because they were just hanging out with the best of the best, right? So other players are like dogs in the kennel. Like I used to have this dog. My dog had puppies, and there was a little dog, little scrawny thing with knots on his head in the kennel. And every time somebody would pick up another, there were 9 of puppies in there, pick up one of the other dogs, the little knothead one would jump on him. He didn't like everybody else getting love but him. Well, that's what it's like when dudes come back from the All-Star game. Okay, so the other players are hungry, say, oh, you think you all that because you was in the All-Star game. I'm going to show you who the real All-Star is. So that what was going on when Kuzma did that little gesture, you too small for me, to Julius Randle. At that time, the guy that's being challenged needs to respond. And how he responds. Good afternoon, Glenn, Chris Hauser. Good afternoon, Above the Rim. Son from Brooklyn. Thanks for the $5. It seems like Knicks are firing all cylinders. They look prepared to finish the season strong, possibly creeping to the 5th or 4th. We're going to talk about that. Definitely going to talk about that. Thanks, Son from Brooklyn. But look, Julius Randle, the Knicks were down, 19? Julius Randle. See, Friday night was a game to make a person appreciate a Julius Randle. Kyle Kuzma shouldn't have opened his mouth. Well, maybe he should, because what ended up happening is Juju decided, oh, I'm too small for you? Really? And Juju took over. I mean, homie took over. Did y'all see? He took over. I mean, and he was scoring on all 3 levels. Took over. And at the end of the game, Kuzma ain't had nothing to say. Because Julius said, take your pink sweater and go back home. Take your little big pink sweater and go back home. Juju went nuts. That's the type of game that shows an all-star proving himself to become all-NBA. He took over the game and he shut Kuzma up. Y'all seen it, right? And I was like, oh, shoot. He shouldn't have did that. Woo! Because Friday's game, Kuzma be wearing these long behind, I don't know, man. It's almost like, what was it? Was it LeBron showed up in the dress one time? No, it was Westbrook showed up in a dress. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, what's going on? And y'all supposed to be fashion icons? Y'all better get another script. But anyway, that's another story. Kuzma's in that type of game. You know what I'm saying? I think he thinks it's cool or whatever. But whatever. He need to shut up now because Juju put him in his place. He did Mob Deep on him from the starting lineup and put him in his place. Pinky think he rocking like Cameron. That's right. He ain't dip. That's right. 2189. Thanks for the $2. He ain't even dip. He ain't drip. He might just flip. Anyway, that was what I caught Friday night. Juju just took over the game. Okay. He just took over the game. Okay. So then comes Saturday night. And Saturday night, now this is the thing about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson didn't have his best game Friday night. Y'all notice. I'm not trying to break on him, but he didn't have his best game. But because he is now Jalen Brunson, who should have been all-star and maybe all-NBA, because of the attention he draws, they could not focus on Julius Randle, which allowed Julius Randle to get hot. Again, that's an all-NBA dude. All-NBA dudes is one of them guys. See, NBA is filled, like I said, if you in the NBA, you can play ball. But generally speaking, right, there's dudes that everybody in the NBA has their nights. Like if you ever look up the number of guys in the NBA that have scored 50 points in the game, it's a long list. It's a long list. The number of guys that have scored 50 points in the game, it's a long list. But that's because it's the NBA. Any guy could get hot at any time. But when you get a guy that, and I'm going to say, conservatively, there's at least 5 to 6 games in a season that Julius decides, okay, I got this one, y'all. And I'm just doing take over. There's a couple of games, there's like 5, 6 games a season where he does that, where he just like, I got this one. Y'all got the night off. That was Friday night. I got this one. Done. Last night, what was impressed me about Julius last night, though, defense. Did y'all notice the defense last night? Ingram had a problem last night. Ingram had a problem last night, you know, and his name was Julius. And I'm saying, look, some of y'all like to bring it up. Let me bring it up for you. I wanted to trade him. I wanted to trade him all the way into the beginning of this season. I've been talking trade Julius since they drafted Obi. This is coffee, by the way. Ain't no wine in here. I just want to let y'all know that. But I've been wanting to trade Julius since they drafted Obi, honestly. Send the art man $20. Thank you for the $20. I now hold the Knicks to a higher standard. I'm looking to the playoff. Can Brunson match what he did last postseason? Will Randle and RJ show up in the playoffs? Will the supporting cast play well enough? Y'all bless. Thank you, art man. Thank you for the $20. Look, art man is typical New York Knicks. See, now you done showed me you could play. I need you to show me more. That's art, and I'm not trying to break on you, art man, but that's typical New York. All right, so you showed me you could get to the 6th seed. What else could you do for me? That's the art man in my line. He said, I now hold you to a higher standard. All right, look here. Let's not forget, Knicks Nation, art man. Let's not forget. This is year 3. It's not Irish coffee 20. This is year 3 of the rebuild. This is year 3. That's what I'm saying. Stay cool, y'all. This is year 3. Hey, listen, I'm just as excited as anybody. I love wise, raw, Long Island, Strong Island. Hey, but this is year 3, y'all. And now let me just, okay, we good. I'm telling you, okay. So look here. And it's funny, RJ's like, aside from Julius, he's the most polarizing guy on the Knicks. And it depends on how the Knicks doing, how people. Are you here when RJ goes 2 or 14 or they in the LS thing goes street? Trade him. And no, we can never trade him when they win it. Yeah, Broadway Barrett. Look, all that. But look, this is year 3, man. This is year 3. So right now, Brunson takes so much attention that if they don't guard him with 2 guys, he's going to score, right? Even sometimes they guard him with 2 guys and he scores. Brunson, I'll be honest, he's not the greatest penetrating kick dude. I'm not trying to break on him. I'm just trying to be balanced in our assessment here. He's not the greatest, jump in the lane and kick out dude. He'll turn the ball over sometimes. But his footwork is so elite. He is elite. His footwork is elite. And did you notice RJ's first basket last night? The footwork on that basket? That kind of, I said, that's JB right there. Did you notice RJ's first basket was a mid-range jump shot? And he moves, and then he did the footwork. I call it a square. He did the square. Boom, jump shot. Boom. That's JB right there. So they picking up the footwork, and that is important. But with JB, so much attention is paid to him. And this is what I've been saying, even when I was the biggest critic of Randle, I would always say this. There is very few NBA players that can guard him one-on-one, especially if you get him the basketball in the mid-post or in the low block. There's very few NBA players that could deal with Julius Randle. It was never, again, I always say, it was never a question of his talent. It was his basketball IQ, which is still not the greatest, but he's come a long way, right? So when you get a guy like a Brunson that's causing people to have to shade toward him, right? that leaves Julius with somebody, unfortunately, trying to guard on one. Send the art man. Thanks again for the $10, brother. And I'm just saying, we've seen this version of Randle, all NBA All-Star, great season, then fizzle off in the playoff. No, come on. Art, my brother. This is a different Randle, and this is a different Knicks team, my brother. Randle's only been to the playoffs one time in his career, so let's not, let's hold off on that judgment a little bit, okay? A little bit. This would be his second playoffs in 3 seasons. Thank you, Tom Thibodeau. But his second playoff in 3 seasons. So let's wait a minute. This is a different Knicks team. I mean, Art Man, can we agree this is not the same Knicks team from 2 years ago? That the 2 year ago Knicks team, completely different team than the team we got right now, which brings me to my next point. Last night, Friday night, it was Julius saying offensively. Now, defensively, Mitch Robb, we're going to talk about him. But offensively, it was Julius saying Friday night, I'm taking over this game. And, Kuzma, you should have kept your mouth shut. You should have kept your mouth shut with your pink sweater. But now you don't open your mouth. So now you got to get what's got coming to you, and Juju did what he did, 46 on them. But last night, you had RJ scoring 25. You had Brunson getting 20. Juju playing both sides of the ball, getting 20-something, 28, I think. And then you had the supporting cast of Quick, Grimes. You had the supporting cast, Hartenstein, everybody getting in on the game. And man, when the Knicks are playing like that, that's why I say to y'all, they could beat everybody. Anybody they could beat. They could beat anybody. They're capable. Now, like I said, the only team I fear in a 7-game series is the Milwaukee Bucks. And it's only because of the matchup problems that they provide to the Knicks. There's a matchup issue. Giannis is really a problem. And with Lopez playing at all NBA defensive level, and then of course they got the pro level, pro and Drew Holiday, and then you got Chris Middleton. That's tough. Last night, did y'all hear Giannis hurt his knee last night? I don't know how serious. Did any of y'all hear about that? Giannis hurt his knee last night. I don't know how serious it is. They better pray it's not very serious, because if Giannis is out, I don't know how bad it is. I hope it's not bad. I mean, he's a tremendous player. I don't want to see him out, but that would be a major problem for the Bucks. That would be the major problem for the Bucks. Major problem. If Giannis misses any significant time, and I mean, like, this is the crucial period right here, these last 20-something games. If Giannis misses more than 5 games, they're going to have a problem. Okay? They're going to have a problem. So, yeah. Right? So Liam, crazy. Hey, listen, Liam, I just want to let you know, in case you didn't realize, Julius Randle is not white Jesus. We can leave that there. Juju ain't white Jesus. I'm just saying. Okay, he's not the baby white Jesus. Okay, he's a pretty big dude. That's all I'm saying. Oh, that's a different thing. He might actually look like, never mind. See, y'all trying me. All right, next. So when they are playing balanced like they did last night, they're very difficult to beat. The Knicks are that was a wire-to-wire win last night. Wire-to-wire. Okay? Wire-to-wire. Now, RJ. I try my best to stay balanced when it comes to RJ. Like, I try not, but people swing wildly on RJ. I'm never really worried about RJ. And I've always told y'all, RJ is going to be all right. Long term, he's going to be fine. But people like to, he sucks, trade him. Oh, you said Jimmy Butler. I think you say Jimmy Butler. I'm like, calm down. Then when I mention a trade, everybody's like, why are you trading RJ? Look, listen to me. Ready? Listen. In about 2 years, Rhodes, she was. And I don't even like them fake eyelashes that sisters wear. I don't like the fake eyelashes. I don't like the fake hair. But even with the fake eyelashes, anyway. So but look, in 2 years, RJ will be at that Jimmy Butler level. In 2 years, he really is. I can see that. There's no doubt in 2 years. But what I'm saying, when I mention a Mikal Bridges or I mention a Jeremy Grant, okay, when you mention Mikal Bridges or Jeremy Grant, you're talking about them being there now. And so we're just talking about time. That's really what we're talking about. So, like, you want to get to the finals possibly next year. You want to be talked about as a finals team. That's what a Jeremy Grant or a Mikal Bridges will do for you right there. Okay. That they'll do that for you. That's what I'm saying. So that's why we talked about trying to acquire one of them and maybe it costing RJ. Now, and I said that because of the money, because if you're talking about either of those guys, RJ's salary fits. I'm not giving up on RJ as much as I'm giving up on the time frame of RJ. I'm saying in 2 more seasons, RJ will be just as good as those 2 guys. But right now, Mikal and Grant are in their prime. And if you want to match that with Mitch Rob, Julius in his prime, Jalen Brunson in his prime, because you know Julius is in his prime right now. This is Julius Randle in his prime. This is Jalen Brunson in his prime. Okay? So when you match that with 2 other dudes in their prime, now that brings you to a new level. That's all I'm saying. If they don't trade RJ, I'm good. If they trade RJ for one of those guys, I'm good. Either way, I'm good. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So I'm not giving up on RJ as much as I'm saying this piece gets us where we would be in 2 years or gets us there next year. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So, all right, that's it. There was no hate on RJ. I'm not giving up on RJ. I'm not saying we need to trade him. Some people, we need to trade him. He's not doing well. He's not progressing. Stop. RJ's fine. It's just that we're talking about timeline now. Timeline is important. And so we're dealing with timeline when you're dealing with RJ. Okay. So RJ is going to give you what he gave you last night. There's going to be games where he does that. Then there's going to be games where he got the Ray Charles glasses on, can't hit the broadside of a barn from the foul line, from the 3-point line, from anywhere. There's going to be stuff like that. Then there's going to be dumb, boneheaded plays where he throws the ball away unnecessarily. But he's 22. And that's why I say people, he's 22. Some people stop using that as an excuse. I don't understand how somebody can say, it's like saying a baby can't walk when they're a year old. And you say, well, that's an excuse, them being a year old. They should be able to walk. That's what that sounds like. 22 is 22. That means you think like a 22-year-old. You act like a 22-year-old. Do you remember what y'all was like when you was 22? I mean, I remember what I was like. Wasn't very mature all the time. Had a little bit headstrong, little bit anxious, little rush things a little bit. Y'all got to understand that's what it means to be 22. When you get to be 24, you start to feel, hey, listen, when I was in high school, right? Any brother that turned 20. When I was in high school, and we was like 15, 16, and homies grew up in the neighborhood. And we said, dang, that Negro old, man. I mean, dang, he 20, he old. That's how we used to think, right? Yeah, he old, man. See, and when I remember the year I turned 23 and I was working in this company and they said, how old are you now? I said, 23. And they said, man, you're a kid. I said, a kid? I said, I'm old, man. I feel old. You know what I'm saying? Because I was 23. But see, that's RJ. He's 22. See, now you're looking back on it, you can see this is a kid right here. So you got 2 more years of development for him before he starts being real sharp. When RJ gets sharp, you're going to see he's going to, like Jimmy Butler, he's going to exploit defenses. He's going to pick them apart. That's what he's going to do. Okay? But you got to give him the time. Okay? Let him mature a little bit. Cherokee, and thanks for the follow. Yo, I'm going to have to give Zion a new name, Street Clothes Couple. No, but you know what, though? Thanks, Malik. Yes, $2. McNutt is a legend. Love me some Monica. And again, I'm trying to be real with y'all. Not only does she look good, but I like her mind. She knows her basketball. I mean, she does. So does Doris Burke, and Doris Burke ain't Monica. I mean, I'm just saying. But they both, know their basketball. There's some that, what's that Ashley chick name? She don't know nothing what she talking about. And then this other chick on ESPN, Andrews, man, shut up. She should just sit there and look. Don't say nothing. Just sit there. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, but Monica knows her ball. So does, Doris Burke and chick over there. I keep forgetting the name for the Nets. They know they stuff, man. They know they stuff. Yeah, and no. Gant, you see, Gant, no, I did not say that. Please find the video and show me where I said that. What I said, actually, Gant, instead of trying to misquote. Stop acting like you work for the New York Post, man. Sure. Anyway, what I actually said was, if the bottom falls out before the All-Star break, Tibbs would be in trouble. That's what I actually said. And I also said, I don't think it's going to happen. In fact, what I really said was, this could be Tibbs' best coaching job. Some of y'all remember that? I said, this could be Tibbs' best coaching job. Grimes looks horrible. Craig, man, don't ever be an NBA scout. Don't ever be a basketball scout. Please don't. Don't. Do everybody a favor. Don't be an NBA scout. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you don't know what you're talking about. Look here. How many points did Bradley Beal score Friday? How many points? How did Bradley Beal shoot the ball on Friday? How did Bradley Beal shoot the ball Friday? What y'all think about Bradley Beal? Huh? Wait, listen. What y'all think about Bradley Beal Friday night? Did he score 40? Did he kill the Knicks? What did he do? Let me tell you what he did, in case you don't know. Bradley Beal was 6 of 14, 1 of 4 from 3. He scored 16 points. He played 36 minutes. Who was guarding him most of the game? Talk to me. It was Quentin Grimes. You got me? Come on now. Stop tripping upon my Grimes. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Not only that, last night, let's take a look at CJ McCollum. Let's take a look at CJ McCollum game from last night. How did CJ do last night? Let me see. How did CJ, what was his game like last night? CJ McCollum was 6 of 19, 1 of 9 from the three-point line. CJ McCollum played 34 minutes and scored 13 points. Who was guarding CJ McCollum, daggone it? It was Quentin Grimes. Will y'all still wake up, please? Yo, what the heck's wrong with some of y'all? Grimes is a keeper. What's wrong with some of y'all? And do you realize how much effort it takes to put those type of numbers against Bradley Beal and CJ McCollum? Are you seriously? Because he takes all his energy on defense, Craig. Dang, what's wrong with some of y'all? And not only that, some of y'all saying, well, he should get more shots. I agree, he should get more shots. But you have to understand, in this lineup, he's not the primary or the secondary or the tertiary option. He's the fourth option. And the reason is because he has to guard the other team's best offensive player. Like I said, he put the clamps on Beal Friday night, who's been a Knick killer his whole life, his whole career. And he put the clamps on CJ McCollum, who has also been a Knick killer when he was in Boston. Put the clamps on him. That is the difference. You understand? Kid from the thank for the 77. Kid from Cadella says thank for the $2. Preacher, thank you. Because I want to what do you mean? Y'all don't say nothing. Y'all must be the same people talking about, Tibbs need to be fired. Some of y'all must be the same people. Because it sounds like the same spirit. What's wrong with some of y'all? Oh, you crazy? Grimes sucks. What's wrong with some of y'all? I mean, you're like, what? Oh, I get it. You just looking at the box score. Oh, I see. You're looking at the box score and you're saying, well, last night, I look at that Grimes. Last night, he's playing 22 minutes, 3 of 7. He only scored 9 points. Man, he sucked. Please watch the game. And even more important, please learn the game. Learn the game. Come on, now. Learn the game. All right. Look here. And again, let me just ease you up. Tom Thibodeau is going to fulfill his 5-year contract in New York. So y'all can stop talking about everything about Tibbs at least for 2 more seasons. Okay? You really can't. He's going to be here. Not only that, he's going to lead the Knicks to their second playoff appearance in 3 years in the 3rd year of their rebuild. Okay? All right? So we could chill on the whole Tibbs going to burn out his team. Tibbs don't know his rotations. Tibbs don't have no offensive imagination. Tibbs blah, 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 blah. Tibbs got the Knicks 8 games over 500 in his 3rd season as the head coach. Tibbs is the only coach we've had that lasted at least 3 years and has a winning record in about 20 years. About 20 years. We had Woodson, but he was only here like a year and a half. I'm not saying he wouldn't be a great coach. I think he would have been. But, that was when our friend Dolan was going through his little tripping and, whatever. And he brought on Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson was tripping. Okay. But let's, chill. Somebody said, he ain't won a championship yet. And so if your imagination tells you that in order to be considered a good coach, you got to win a championship, you don't know NBA basketball at all. It's very difficult to win in the NBA. Very difficult. And teams that win have 1 or 2 superstars on their team. Again, y'all need to remember that. 1 or 2 superstars to win an NBA championship. That's to even get in the conversation. Okay? So Tibbs has had Derrick Rose an MVP year, Derrick Rose, and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, which means they won 2 other playoff series that year. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? So to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you have to win the first round and the second round to get there. And they took it 6 or 7 games. That's what Tibbs did with MVP Derrick Rose and a bunch of hard-nosed dudes. Okay? So I don't want to hear about him not being a good coach. He's proven he's a really good coach in the NBA. He wasn't my first choice, because I knew we were going to have to go into a rebuild. So I was thinking Atkinson, right? But Tibbs was my second choice, and I'm glad they got him. Okay? Does he frustrate me from time to time? Heck yeah! He's a stubborn old coach. But on the other hand, the same stubbornness makes him good. It's a 2-edged sword. Okay? It's a 2-edged sword. So, any hootie whoop, let's move on. And that was Grimes. Some of y'all need to chill on Grimes, okay? The kid is in his 2nd year, again, 22 years old, and he's already playing elite defense on the best players in the world. Do you realize guys like Bradley Beal, guys like CJ McCollum, guys like Jason Tatum are the best basketball players on planet Earth? And they got this 22-year-old 2nd-year dude on them, depending on him to control these guys. So, no, he's not going to shoot the ball the way you want him to shoot it right now. But let me tell you, he will eventually. And when he does, he's going to catapult to all-NBA status. That's where we're at with this kid right now, okay? Okay? That's where we're at with this kid. So just calm on Grimes. Now, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell freaking Robinson. Mitch Rob. Block Ness. That was the most exciting thing to me coming back from the break. The fact that Mitchell Robinson was coming back to the Knicks. Look here. Mitch Rob, there was some knucklehead come on my channel talking about, well, how could you say a guy that only averages 8 and 8 is that important? Again, please do this. There's a lot that you can learn from watching the box score. Okay, you can pick up a lot watching the box score, but there is some things you can't pick up from the box score. The impact, say, of a Josh Hart. Would y'all agree? The box score doesn't always tell you the impact of a Josh Hart on the game. Okay, you got to see the game to understand the import. Do you know that one year, the only time in NBA history that a player was both Rookie of the Year and MVP, that guy averaged 13 points a game And I don't even know if he averaged double figures in rebounding, but he averaged 13 points a game. You guys know that, right? The only time in NBA history you had a guy that was MVP and Rookie of the Year, and he only averaged 13 points a game. Okay, that was Wes Unseld. That's Wes Unseld. So if you're looking at the box score, you wouldn't see the impact that Wes Unseld had on the Bullets. They were then the Washington Bullets. They weren't the Wizards. Then they were the Bullets. They were actually the Baltimore Bullets, and they became the Washington Bullets. But yeah, so if you understand that, no, that was Wes Unseld. Wes Unseld Sr. Wes Unseld played for the Baltimore Bullets, and then he played for the Washington Bullets, and then they became the Washington Wizards many years later. But he was MVP and Rookie of the Year. And the reason was because of one thing he used to do, like better than anybody probably in NBA history, is the outlet pass. He transformed the outlet pass and made it a weapon. And what he would do was, he was strong. He was only about 6'7", but dude was about 250. And he would throw that outlet pass like a daggone bullet, like the way Dan Marino used to throw the football. He'd throw that outlet pass like bang, and that ball would be up the floor. And that few seconds difference between like somebody dribbling it up and the way he passed it up, the Bullets would get like a lot of easy baskets based on that. And that's what caused them to start winning. And so a lot of teams were so scared of that, they started missing shots trying to get back before he made the outlet. Okay, so, but just goes to show you the box score wouldn't tell you how good he was. Okay, the box score wouldn't tell you, all right, how good he was. But that's what I'm saying with Mitchell Robinson. The box score doesn't always tell you his impact on a game. Okay, it doesn't. You can't really see it from the box score. But I'm telling you, like for example, Isaiah Hartenstein is not even in the same planet level as Mitchell Robinson. And neither is Jericho Sims right now. And yet people are like, well, we need to start. I remember when we just got Hartenstein, Hartenstein's going to start over Mitch Rob. Oh, we need to start Jericho over Mitchell. Some of y'all just get too hyped. Like I said, New York is extremes. But no, Mitchell Robinson, you can't see how well he covers the paint area. You can't see how well he gets from double team back to under the basket to block a shot. You can't see how well he alters shots. You can't see how well he runs the floor and finishes. That's what I'm saying. You can't measure that in a box score. Okay. Yet when you watch the game, you see that impact. Why do you think, for example, RJ, look, didn't we say, some of y'all remember, didn't we all, a lot of us were saying, RJ's defense is going to improve when Mitchell Robinson returns. Y'all know that, right? We said that RJ's defense was going to improve when Mitchell Robinson got back. And look what has happened. RJ's defense has improved when Mitchell Robinson got back. Okay? That's no accident. Okay? That's no accident. And so this guy is a key championship piece for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson. Okay? Key championship piece. If this brother stays healthy through the playoffs, nobody wants to deal with the Knicks. Nobody. Now, let's talk about the East. Again, the only team that I fear in a 7-game series against the Knicks in the playoffs is Milwaukee, because Milwaukee really is kryptonite to the Knicks in many, many areas. 2189, thanks for doing box stats and highlight isn't watching and knowing the game. Thank you. Thank you. 2189. Box stats and highlights isn't watching and knowing the game. Exactly. It's not. Okay. So what happened now, if you could get to right now, we see the Knicks are actually, I think they're going to overtake Brooklyn for the 5th seed. Right now, if you look at the standings right now in the NBA, Miami's on a bit of a skid. Man, it's a bad time to be on a skid. But I have a feeling Miami is not going to stay at that low spot. They're gonna come back. They got to play. Miami's got to play Atlanta today. They play Atlanta today. I think Atlanta's going to be in trouble. I know they blew out somebody the other night. I think they blew out Cleveland the other night. But that was just the hype after. Usually, if you guys seen coaching changes in the middle of the season, when players are complaining about the coach, which apparently, several of the players were complaining about the coach, Nick McMillan, and they changed the coach. Generally, there's an initial high from the team. The team gets all hyped initially. But then reality sets in, and you're going to miss that coach if he was a really good coach. Once reality sets in, I think Atlanta's going to be a problem. That's why they're trying to quickly get Quinn Snyder in there. And I don't blame him. Quinn Snyder's another tremendous coach. Quinn Snyder's a tremendous coach, tremendous basketball mind. So that's going to be good for them. But I think they're going to have an adjustment period that's going to cost them some games, and I think they're going to drop. But yeah, ATL's playing Brooklyn today. And I'm hoping ATL keeps that high and beats Brooklyn, because if they do, the Knicks will now be tied for the 5th spot in the East with a big game coming tomorrow against Boston. Big game. So right now, against Boston, the Knicks, what is the Knicks record? Y'all see, let me see. Well, how many games they beat, have they beat Boston? Let me see here. Let me see here. The Knicks have played, let's see, looking at Boston. They lost the first game on November 5th. Against Boston in Boston. I think they played around Christmas, Boston, didn't they? I'm trying to see. They won January 26th in overtime against Boston. And so now this is the 3rd game against Boston. So we 1-1 against Boston. So this is going to be a big game. And again, you could throw out the records. But last night, I think it was last night, Boston came back to beat Philly. Philly had that game. I thought Philly was going to cruise to the win last night. Tatum decided, no. That's what I'm saying. The difference between All-Star and All-NBA. Tatum decided, no, we're not going to have that. Okay? So, brethren, big game tomorrow. And I'm hoping ATL, Leprechaun, do his little magic, take out his lucky charms, and beat Brooklyn today. Beat Brooklyn today. Hope they do, because that would be good. Then the Knicks being the 5th seed. Now, the Knicks have a real shot at the 5th seed. Elder Barge better beat Brooklyn. Return the kicks. That's right. Return his kicks. Right. So the Knicks can get the 5th seed. And that would be good. They're playing a 4-5 game. But some of y'all talking 4th seed. I like the energy. I'm not going to speak against y'all talking 4th seed. I just think it's Cleveland's got to go on a real losing streak, and I don't know about that one. It's going to be tough. I don't know. I can see, though, a Knicks-Cleveland 5-4 matchup, 4-5 seed. I can see that. The Knicks are, to me, the 5th best team in the East right now. I mean, would y'all agree? I think the Knicks right now are the 5th best team in the East. And if you look at even the plus minuses, right? If you look at the plus minuses, for the Eastern Conference, the Knicks are 5th best right now. Their plus minus is 2.6, which is the 5th best. Boston number 1. Followed by Cleveland, followed by Philly, followed by Milwaukee, followed by the Knicks. So the Knicks, and that's a key stat. I found that to be a key stat in terms, especially at the end of the year, is the key stat here. So the plus minus is 5th best. I think that's going to hold up, and I believe the Knicks got a really strong chance to get the 5th seed in the East. And so, but listen, let me just hedge this and give you all a little heads up. Now, look, at the All-Star break, the Knicks had won 33 games. There were 22 games left at the All-Star break for the Knicks. And I think we all agreed the Knicks would win probably 14. They would go 14-8 down the stretch, right? 14-8. So they would end up with 47 wins. I remember saying I know they were going to get at least 45. So I'm thinking now 47, right? So just don't trip if they lose games. If they lose a game, don't trip. We said 14-8, which means they're going to lose 8 games. Okay? You're going to lose 8 games. So don't trip, right? Next Nation, you'll hear me. Don't trip. Okay? They're going to lose 8 games. Don't worry about that. Okay? They're going to win some, lose some. Okay? Yeah. So if they start to, if like a Cleveland, like right now, like I said, Miami's going through a tough stretch. Miami done lost 4 straight. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They're 32-29 right now. They really, they're going to have a hard time here. The Knicks now have opened up a 2.5 game lead on them. So that's good stretch. it's going to be very important, going down the stretch here. So tomorrow is a very big game. Now, let me prepare you a little bit. Okay. If the Knicks win tomorrow, it doesn't mean they're going to go 20-0 down the stretch or 19-0, whatever's left. Okay. Okay. If they lose tomorrow, it's not the end of the world. Okay. All right. Trying to get you up. Okay. It's okay. So look at this, the bigger picture here. So Miami is good. Don't, like I said, see, don't trip. Miami is good. They can come back and win 6 straight. That's okay. All right. They're good. Atlanta's in turmoil because of their internal problems, but they got talent also. So don't trip, don't sleep on nobody in the NBA. And Miami is good. That's what I'm saying. Don't trip. They just happen to be going through some struggles right now. But this is Eric Spoelstra's team. So they don't trip. They're going to come back. That's what I'm saying. And watch Toronto and watch Washington. There was a big win against Washington on Friday. Big win against Washington. Washington's playing good ball right now on all cylinders, and the Knicks beat them. And the Knicks came back to beat them. That was a big, big game for the Knicks. And then the back-to-back win against the Pelicans, very good. So we have a good momentum going into Monday's game at the Garden against Boston. Good momentum. Okay, so it'll be all right. It'll be all right. So I would like them to beat Boston on Monday, of course, and that would be 6 straight wins. That'll be 9 games over 500. Big win. That would solidify the 5th seed for the Knicks. And then we got Brooklyn, I think I want to say they got Brooklyn on Wednesday or Thursday. They got Brooklyn after that. Another big game. This could be a big week for us, as far as the Knicks are concerned. Big week, okay? It's 1 game at a time, though. So they come through this weekend. They got the 2 wins. They're now 8 games over 500. And so now, they got a big game tomorrow night. Speaking of Orlando, I do still have the tickets. I could sell the tickets on Ticketmaster if I wanted to. I'm trying to see which Knicks dude wants to come to the game. So I still got my tickets. My man that was going to come, he couldn't make it. He got some issue with babysitting, so he can't make it. So I wanted to see which one of y'all wanted to come to the game. I still got my ticket. I had a couple of guys contact me, but ain't nobody coming up with the loot. You know what I'm saying? With the loot. Now, there's a couple of brothers that have been so supportive of the channel. If they wanted to go, I'll give them the ticket. There's a couple of brothers. Both of them, one of them is out of town that time, and another one I haven't heard back from him. But if somebody wants to buy the ticket, it's $250. It costs me more than that to buy the ticket. Okay, so okay. Yeah, he was playing like Curry Friday night. There's no doubt. But yeah, definitely organic. Definitely, let's do that. Which you want to meet up at that restaurant we ate at before, the one and if you bring in, you want to meet up at the restaurant next to the gym. Okay. Hey, I got parking. My parking is across the street in that. What's the name of that building? Right across the street from the gym. Right across the street from it. Right across the street from Airway Center. I forgot the name of it. It's the Geico. I think it's Geico. I'm parking in the Geico this time. Yeah. I don't know how I got VIP parking this last game. I mean, we was right there. Dude hooked us up. We was right there. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm saying whoever wants the ticket needs to email me and let me know. Okay, whoever wants the ticket. So anyway, Mitch Robb has been the difference maker to make the Knicks go to that next level. That's why we could talk about 4th seed, 5th seed. Mitchell Robinson is why we could do that. So, although I have to be honest, I like the braids that he had on Friday night better than the I don't know what's up with the buckwheat hairstyle. Can y'all tell me what's up with the buckwheat head style these days? Is it because they've been winning with the buckwheat head style? That way everybody going with buckwheat? Because I like the nice, neat braids. Y'all see what I'm saying? I mean, I like the nice, neat braids they was wearing. Mitch Rock came out with some nice braids on Friday, and I was like, okay, is that what it is? Less stress on the head? Okay. I was wondering what I'm just wondering what's up with the buckwheat head style. What's up with that? But it makes sense with organics. The less stress on the head, it's not tight or whatever. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what it is because he's been balling. Maybe he keeping that buckwheat head style. You know, it's like them MVP. When you win MVP, you keep them shorts or sneakers or whatever. Okay. All right, cool. That's all I'm saying. I thought Mitch Rob looked better with the braids, but he played better with the buckwheat. So I guess he's gonna stay buckwheat. He played better with the buckwheat. But yeah, anyway. He played better with buckwheat, though. He did. So, all right. So, yeah. All right, brethren. My wife and I are going to take our usual Sunday dinner in one of our favorite spots. One of our favorite spots here in Florida. But the Knicks are looking good for the 5th seed right now. Long as everybody keeps doing what they're doing. Yeah, man, Juju doing his thing. Y'all know that, right? Juju doing his thing. But yeah, organic. Let's meet at that spot, that really delicious Colombian spot before the game, the spot next to the gym. And yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to give somebody this ticket or sell it to somebody. You know, I'm gonna sell it back to Ticketmaster. Y'all keep messing with me. I'm gonna sell it back. I'm trying to tell you. I tell you what, organic. You and your family, you sit with your back to the gym. I'll sit facing the gym, and I think we should be all right. Because you put my back to the gym, my head will be turning too much. You know what I mean? But if I sit facing the gym, then I could be in the conversation and I can get the views as well, right? Whereas if you sit facing the gym and your body quality, that'll be a problem, bro. We may not make it to the game. You saying? You may not make it to the game. Keep playing like that. Yeah, you may not make it to the game. Anyway, we're gonna have a good time though. Yeah, man. Boston, then Brooklyn. That's right. You right. Cherokee, rivalry week. That's it. This is rivalry week. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Anyway, it's yeah, Boricua come to the scene. It's Boricua time. We be in Colombian restaurant, but it's gonna be Boricua time. That's a word. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, y'all. Always fun to hang out with y'all. My man D.O. Organic, Project VMG, Cherokee Indian, 2189 Gumby, my man Julius High. Cash Out James, Chris Hauser, my man Guilford McCormick. Always good to see you, brothers. Always good to hang out with you, brothers, on YouTube. And if we could catch up at the game. I ran into my brother. What was the brother's name? He was at the game, man. What was his name? Damn, I forgot his name. Acosta. My man Acosta. He was at the game. It was good to meet him. It was nice. Like I said, if you're interested in coming to the game, let a brother know. I know the tickets might be a little rich, but these tickets are a good spot. We in section 105. I think we in the 8th row or something. We in good spot. I ain't gonna front. We in a good spot right here. Okay, so yeah, we got good seats. I'm just saying, if you're interested in getting up close and personal on the Knicks, where the referees can hear you, because the referees hear me, man, I'll be telling them this ain't the G League no more. You in the league, son. Ref like you in the league. By the way, you know where I got that? I can't take credit for saying it. You know where I got that from? I got that from somebody. You know who used to say that? Y'all remember Chris Webber? Chris Webber used to say that. What's wrong with you, man? You in the league. Chris Webber used to say that a lot. That's why I got it. I copied it from him, to be quite honest with you. But that stuck with me. I was like, Chris Webber is right. He's right. Ref like you in the league. Stop acting like you in college. You ain't in the G League. You ain't in college. You in the league. Yeah, Fab Five Legend. This is when he was on the Wizards. He went from Golden State and he went to the Wizards, and that's where I caught it. I heard him say that. I was like, oh shoot, C Webb, that's right. You in the league. C Webb said, you in the league, man. All right. Nancy Stevenson, y'all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. Me and my wife getting ready to be out. We got to do a little this and that and stop by, do our thing. Y'all have a good Sunday. Thank you again for hanging out. Always fun. Shalom, Knicks Nation. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's get this win tomorrow at the Garden against Boston. Shalom.